All right. Here we go, Holy Ones, Machiwa. I welcome all of you to this transmission of spirit, transmission of the Guardian Alliance, you would say, Guardian Angelic Nations. And so we're coming together in this topic about archangels tonight, debunking some of the myths about archangels. What are archangels? Who are they really? Are archangels real? Yes, they're real, but just not what you think they may be in actuality. So there's all kinds of ideas about angels, okay? All different belief systems. And so tonight, though, is going to be coming from the innerchristos point of view, perspective. These are the Emerald Order teachings, also called the Law of One. And so I welcome all of you to this perspective. And we're not trying to challenge any of your belief systems or religions, but we want to at least talk about some of the distortions and debunk some of those ideas and concepts. And then you can check and see after tonight's presentation, or at least listening to some of this information, if you resonate with it or not. Yes. And so this is going to be an interesting topic. We already have our beautiful brothers and sisters of innerchristos light coming on in. Welcome, guardians. Welcome, angels. You know, one of the concepts we'll talk about is angels is a level of body form. It's a level of spiritual evolution, of consciousness. And so we're multidimensional beings. And so you will be living through the angel levels, okay? Because right now we're in the incarnate level, but you're going to go into the astral. A lot of people know what the astral is. It's another dimension. And then into the archetype dimension and into the celestial dimension, okay? This is where body forms become less dense. They're almost like see-through, ghost-like, okay? And so those are the beings more evolved, spiritually, psychic-wise, knowledge-wise, body form-wise, more evolved. You can say physical evolution, but also spiritual evolution. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, you guys. Angels are beloved beings, you know, that most people talk about, but also realize there is fallen angels. We're mostly talking about the guardians, but we will cover some of the fallen angels because that is some of the myth. Some of the debunking is regarding the beings who are being worshipped as positive, but you will find out, no, they're actually negative. They're working the dark agenda. And you will realize that, hey, what do bad guys do? Some bad guys pretend to be light. And that's exactly what has happened in some of our historical contexts. And so I welcome all of you, Holy Ones. And I just want to say right away, this is good news, right? Hello, I fixed the lighting issue, the green screen issue. I found out what was wrong. You guys won't believe this, because I had tried moving lights around. I had tried moving the camera different ways. I tried moving my chair remember for the past few weeks, I've been on the right side. What it was, I discovered it was a smudge of dirt over my lens of the camera. Not noticeable at first. I didn't notice it until I got real close and inspect the camera. Like, what? There's something partially covering my lens. I had no idea. Now there's no issues at all, so check it out. And by the way, this is normally done on Saturday, but today we're doing it on Sunday because I wasn't able to make it, and I left a note in the members area. But thank all of you who are joining us now. Melvin Sanford in the house. Welcome, Holy One. Kevin, greetings to you, Kevin. Thank you, Connor, for that, and welcome, brother. Thank you for being here with us. Much improved. Yes, you said it. From the past month, actually. It's been almost 2 months I've had that I remember I was in the second interview. It was my interview with Leslie. It started happening back then. So that's been almost 2 months, maybe 6 weeks or something. But thank you, Connor. And Gina in the house. Sunset Dreams, Beautiful Souls. Yeah, you're right. It was a green hue. It was more than that. It was just affecting what the green screen effect. So, and it was, affecting my brightness and all that. Now it's fine. It could be tweaked a little bit better, the lighting, I noticed, but it's fine for now. Because I usually have a light pointing this way. I'm not doing that, but maybe I could have. But anyways, it's fine. It's fine for now. Machiwa, how do you pronounce your name? Aphis. It's light language. It's light language from my own soul family. It doesn't mean it's from my soul family only. It just means that my soul family speaks this word, but many words besides Machiwa. Masutas, Makaya. These are words I keep repeating, not just in meditation, not just on medicine. Just in my everyday life, I will say these words. I know it's part of who I am. It's not channeling, by the way. I myself, your brother Anhuaziz, I myself, it's part of my own family, and it's a positive thing, not a negative thing, because I notice when I say it, it's always a good energy. It's a positive vibe. So, and honestly, it's one of those words that has more than one meaning. I can tell based on the times that I've said it, it was at different moments. I can't tell you exactly what it is. I just know it's not really, I wouldn't say it's Anuhazi language, but it is some extraterrestrial, other world or other lifetime language. And I think maybe that will be revealed to me. Just right now, I'm not exactly sure. I just know that it's positive. So, I mean, I wouldn't have the feeling if it was negative. I have had different, you would say 10 years ago, I was speaking different things, but they weren't positive. That was before the Christos. This is after the Christos. Machiwa. See, there we go. Unconsciously, just say it. It's not by, I was thinking about it. It's just there, right? Free White Dove. Welcome, Cara Buckley in the house. I would say it's, like Connor said, like a divine greeting in a light language. It's definitely light language. And I notice as I get more evolved in my own spiritual journey, it's probably your brother is probably going to be speaking more like a language almost, like I'll be consciously aware of the language. Cara Buckley says, thank you for answering the urgent fire prism. I don't know what you mean. I didn't talk anything about ISIS. I started this channel, I think, in 2021, the end of 2021. So, it says reconnection successful. 22 likes. Now it says excellent connection. Uruguay. Wait, I lost that place. Where is it? I lost the place. Now I gotta find it. Mariana Ingold, Machiwa brother, much love from Uruguay. Welcome, Uruguay. What time is it there? Let us know in the comments. Bless you. Thank you for being here. Can I do what? Can I do that in this life, or will it take very long? I'm not sure what you're talking about. You'd have to, because I look at your previous comment, so I don't know what. Please write in the comments if it's what it means. I mean, what you mean. What are you referring to? Susie Wilson, yeah, Machiwa. The grade flow of the divine feminine is restored. We have the tools to truly know ourselves again. Thank you for arriving with the wisdom of the ages. The prophets are still writing. Thank you, Cara. Yeah, I didn't talk about Isis. She's used to be a guardian. She's not a guardian. But that's open to different beliefs. According to these beliefs, any type of gods, there's a big distortion. Just like there's distortions with tonight's topic, angels. What is a god? Okay, so why do we have a bunch of beings claiming to be gods? Isis is one of them. These are not gods. They're ETs. People need to could, I'm not telling you what to do, people could redefine what is a god. Okay, because there's no such thing as plural gods. Creator, God is the creator, and there's only one of those. You're not going to have, okay, so if you have a bunch of gods, that's a bunch of creators. No. And so, Isis is this whole thing with my connection, you guys, sorry. Isis is not a god. Osiris is not a god. These are ETs. Archangel Michael is an ET. Angels are ETs. Spirits are ETs. And other different matter forms. Other dimensions of reality. Every dimension is a different level of matter form. That means physicality is less and less dense. So each level is another less dense matter form. And it's also a more advanced consciousness, spirit. So people think of spirits, it's beings in other realities. There's such thing as disembodied consciousness, but we're not talking about that. Beings who possess a body, who have a body. And so who are embodied in a body. And so we could have different opinions about Isis, but they're not positive. Just like Archangel Michael's not positive. That is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Some of the myths. We're going to debunk some of the false teachings. And so we'll be going over that. Just let me finish saying hello. Sup, Omni Ones? I like how you said that, Galactic Center. What's up, Omni Ones? Yeah, what's up? I'm not fighting nothing, Shelly. I'm just rolling with it. What's up? Thank you for your comment. Gina in the house. I'm glad you didn't miss it either. Glad you're holding space with us. Hey, Sister Monster Quinn 30. What's up? What's going on, sister? Kara, love that your light issue mirrors the message coming through to some of us. Thank you, Holy One. And you could say we're part of these guardian angelic beings. A lot of you are the star seeds and indigo children who are incarnating. That means your soul essence comes into a human body, which is most likely a hybrid body for the indigo children. And so, and we grow up as a little baby, a toddler, a teenager, an adult. Hopefully we wake up, because some of us are still sleeping. We want to reclaim our identities. We want to remember who we are. And so it is a bunch of us, angels, the angel level of spirit and consciousness that are incarnating here. Okay, we're not chosen ones. That is a distortion in New Age. We're all chosen by God. We're all God. Because we teach the sacred universal law of one. If all are God and all are equal, they're all equal. How can you have one that is chosen in God and one that is not chosen in God? Because being chosen implies someone wasn't chosen. No, it's a distortion. That's a tactic of the fallen angelics. What we're going to be talking about tonight. There is no special ones. There is no favored ones. It's not a believer-only club. Okay? It's not a special chosen race of God like the Hebrews and Jews. All are God. All are chosen. There is no chosen ones. So that is unity for you. Okay? In unity, there is no hierarchy of angels. There is no higher authorities. There is no authority. There's no governments. Okay? These guardian angelic nations are not following and worshiping religions and gods. Okay? There's only union with the creator, singular, one creator, source. That's why we call it source. God's the source of everything. And so we align ourselves with source. We return through spiritual ascension to source. Okay? And so, because right now we're in a distortion of creator. Okay? There's many different distortions of the original. God allows that. God allows polarity. God allows itself free will in the hologram, 15-dimensional time matrix. And so these angels have free will. These angels and archangels have used their free will to fall. Some of them have. Not all of them. Right? And so, yeah. Thank you, Shelley. Yeah, I'm just a perfectionist. I'm using cheap lights, but you'll get glare effects. Like I see a glare on my forehead. That's from bright light. So I need diffused lights, but that's a lot of money. I will get there. XCV11 or II, Roman numbers. Hi, Jesse, if you see this. Who's Jesse, right? M. Lawrence in the house, Free White Dove. Thank you guys for being here. Eric asked a question. Do you know anything about the 144,000 mentioned in the book of Revelations? Yeah, 1 minute here. Now, we're not following the book of Revelations, though. But we do talk about the 144,000. And so there's different references to this 144. But good question, Eric. So there's numbers in God. Okay? Everything is frequency. A symbol is frequency. A number is frequency. Language is frequency. Words are frequency. So you become mindful of them. So God is not just some lofty concept. There's numbers in God. This is a spiritual science. And so 144, notice it's divisible by 3, by the way. There is no 10s and 7s and 8s, 4s. But there's 3, 6, 9. What did Tesla say about that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Those are the numbers we like. 144. Now, the original 144,000, this is not coming from the Bible. The 144,000 were the 12 empires. 12 of 12,000 each is the ones who started this whole thing. 12 times 12,000 is 144,000. Okay? And so there is one reference right there. The next reference would be the 144,000 in modern times. I was just talking about the empires who came from inner earth, came to the surface. Each tribe of 12,000 started in different areas of the planet. This is why you can't say everything came out of Africa, honey. You got some coming out of the Iran area. You got some coming from Hawaii. You got some in, Europe area. You got all these big, like Hindus, all of that culture, the Chinese, Asian people. That's another kingdom. All these are different originating, and it has to do with the Stargates, or the activation sites. There's 12 Stargates, 12 activation sites. These kingdoms are around. See, 12 is a divine number. And notice in science, we're on a base 10 system here. No, the divine is actually, that's a distortion. The divine is, see, what I say about 10, is that divisible by 3? Okay? 12. 12 is the divine number. And so the divine is on a base 12 number, not a base 10. What is 10? It is reptilian. Reptilian is in the 10th dimension. The Omicron dragon moths, the draconians, Dracos are coming out of the 10th strand. Human beings are 12th strand, originally, the diamond sun DNA. Down here, do we act like angels? No. Up there we do. Down here, we're trying to figure ourselves out. So, but there's something called 144,000 that are meant to be activating the third eye. I mean, they're the ones who have the third eye activated. There's more than just those people who have the third eye open. Anyone can be opening and activating this, which is the 6th chakra. So anybody could be doing that. Indigo Wizard, what's up, brother? How you doing, homie? Thank you so much. You're awesome. And thank you for being a moderator. Thank you for watching our backs from trolls. They come to our channel. It's awesome to have you serving with us and Celine and Little Alien. And so I'll be saying all my greetings. I just want to answer this Eric's question. Thank you so much, Indigo, brother. Thank you for your support. And look at that star. You got the year star, man. Isn't that the year star? Indigo's been supporting this work for a year, man. Thank you, brother. Yeah, the 144,000 have to have their third eye open because they're the ones that are needed to represent the 6th dimensional frequency of consciousness. And so there's a certain number of people that need to have the 5th strand, a certain amount of people, and it's going to be more than this. And some people need to activate the heart strand. So we need those people on planet, we need these people on planet, and we need the 144,000 who have the third eye open. And so remember, the Earth system is 3D, dimensions 1, 2, and 3. Not 4, 5, and 6. That's the higher universe, the higher matter form in consciousness. So when beings from 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, 4th, 5th, and 6th chakras come to the Earth, what does that do with the average pool of consciousness on Earth? It makes the 3D consciousness rise. You sprinkle some 4D consciousness, some 5D consciousness, and the 144,000 dimensional consciousness, it's going to make the 3D consciousness average go up. And that's, I can't snap. I just took a shower. My hand is, there we go. Snap. It's like it's like a part of our ascension. This is what moves the particle spin faster. When you have angels, it's not just angels though, right? We have astral beings, archetype beings, celestial beings, and the archangels are 7, 8, and 9 strand beings, incarnating. Just like humans incarnate here, your soul essence goes into a body. The difference being that indigo children, we make a soul contract with our mother soul level and our father's soul level to birth us, to create us, to have a body for our soul essence to come in. So we have angels coming to help Earth through the incarnation process. Not just coming by UFOs and spaceships. Oh, they're there too. There's beings in motherships. There's beings in underground bases and under the ocean bases and outside the orbit bases in our solar system or close by or just phased out of 3D a little bit so they become invisible to us. So you have this frequency, but if they're going a little bit faster, you won't see them. And so, unless you're activating your heart and throat and third eye. Astral, archetype, celestial, which is angel, and the archangelic. So this is part of tonight's conversation, talking about angels and what they really are as extraterrestrial beings from other dimensions. Even in the Bible, they say that angels are coming from heaven, which is what? Another reality. They're from other worlds coming to this world they will have a different appearance. That's the contradiction in the Bible. But you can have close encounters of aliens, angels, but most of them are coming in the dream state. Most of them are coming on medicine, or just maybe you're just highly activated and they, like our teacher. And I want to say at the beginning that these teachings are called the Emerald Order teachings. Your brother Anuhazi, that's me. I'm not making stuff up. I'm not spinning some information. It's not my personal ideas or opinions, but I resonate with this information coming from the innerchristos law of one. And so our original teacher is Ashiana Dean. She's still around. She just stays private. She does private workshops. You have to sign up on her site, and then she posts when she reveals them. But those of us, or a lot of us, are studying these older teachings. Okay? This is the first one. The first publication. She was actually doing workshops before this book. It's called Voyagers by Ashiana Dean. Okay, I'm one of the few people who teach this and say where I get it from. There's other people teaching this and not saying a dang thing about who are they getting it from. I guess that's their choice. But anyways, I'm here for service. It's not about me. It's not about Ashana. It's not even Ashana's work. It's the Emerald Order work. It's all of our work. It's the ones representing this work, incarnating here. One of the 144,000 or not. So 10:20 and okay. So are you getting sleepy, Mariana? Got a little alien. What's up, Star Sister? Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for serving. Bless you, sister. Thank you for so glad to have you. And if you guys ever have any questions tonight, please put Christos avatar somewhere in your message so you can tag it. If you tag me, then it highlights and I can see it. Otherwise, it's hard to see the question unless it's tagged. So please tag Christos avatar in your message. Yeah, Indigo said it. It's the message, not the messenger. I just want to say that it's some people will go into guru mode and want to worship Ashiana or whatever. Just realize it's not about her. Bless Ashiana. I love her. Whatever has happened with her or hasn't happened, I love her. So it's about the teachings and knowing that we're all connected to it. That this is not just the starseeds and indigos. This is the human race information. Remember, it's called Diamond Sun DNA, also called the silicate matrix DNA. 12 strand, baby. Thank you for that, holy ones. When the fallen angels are only 11 strand or less. Like the reptilians have 10, the draconians have 9, and other beings. So, thank you, little alien. Wow. Azura, Azhara, yes. Aquari. Bless you, sister. Or brother, I can't tell which. That's so cool how you said that. But Arius is Ashiana's company name, though. You're using a company name in there. Many times when Yasha mentions the freedom teachings, it is to provide the background to things like cosmic structure, the 15-dimensional structure, particle phasing, flashing the sequence. Yeah. And that would also, the flashline sequences and particle phasing are part of the Cathara teachings. Like, this is a huge body of work. And so it started with Voyagers, and it went into, it led to, there's other workshops. There's literally a few hundred. And so it went into the healing aspect called Cathara, which also talks about the spiritual science, the 15-dimensional time matrix. And but anyways, we use that time matrix to help us identify beings like these angels and archangels and all the guardian races. We learn where the guardians are, like the Guardian Alliance usually operates within the lower densities, but there's the higher density Interdimensional Association of Free Worlds, and so that's initialed IAFW, and so we call that the Guardian Angelic Nations. This is a real term, and we'll look at that in the PDFs of this Voyagers. It's several places in the material were identified as the Guardian Angelic Nations, who are serving Creator's original intention. Okay, not some angry, judgmental God. No, the divine, original, only true Creator, who's coming from a space of omni-love, loving all, not judgment, not torture in the lake of fire, not death and sacrifice of children in the Passover, not anger, not wrath, not a war god. Okay, a blessed being living within unconditional love and grace and bliss. And we talk about in these teachings the 12 attitudes of mastery, the 12 responsibilities of mastery. It's not dogma, and so you're not going to be told what you should and should not do. And so this is part of an identity that when you realize you're multidimensional consciousness and you realize what you are and why you're here and why the earth is going through this and what your higher selves are, and connecting to those higher selves, opening the conduits to those higher selves, your higher identity, you will realize you're an angel, angelic consciousness. You're an archangel. That's crown chakra, violet. There's a chakra here. In these teachings, we have 15 chakras. And we have more actually because of the parallel system, antiparticle system. So that's your doppelganger self. So you're going to have more chakras there. And so they're actually working together. Okay? We send with our particle, antiparticle, together. So we also work with something called soulmates and twin flames. So it's one of the most advanced teachings on the planet when it comes to spiritual awakening and ascension. It's not all about the drama. You're going to learn about the spiritual science, and you're going to go into a lifestyle of training. It's not just philosophizing about this stuff. You actually are doing the techniques. And so you want to learn how to protect yourself. You want to learn how to open the crystal seals. You want to learn how to, go into those higher identity levels and reclaim your higher self, bring it in to your hologram here. And so you're a walking, talking guardian being. 111. Someone see that? Put that in chat, Holy Ones. So we are bringing this together as a group. They say the shield split. Well, I say the shield is still being represented. We're still bringing our code. We're still representing the Starseed, Team Indigo. What's up, homies? And talking about the inner Christ, the inner Christos. Talking about the sacred universal law of one. Machiwa. Patty Paparazzi! Woohoo! Machiwa, sister. Much respect. Thank you for that beautiful exchange of energy. You're awesome. You're amazing. And actually, Patty is teaching already or sharing spiritual knowledge on her channel on Instagram. So check that out. Thank you, sister. You're awesome. And you guys, I can't do this without you. We do this together and we reach more people. You see, there's new people here incoming, and our team, our field, our shield just gets getting bigger as more and more people awaken and express their angelic human self. Much you up. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Indigo Wizard. Gina Sutton. I used to do that. She's asking if I've done in-person teachings. I've done one-on-one. That's what you mean, right? I just don't do that anymore. Unfortunately, I don't have the time, but also people just kind of like want to dump all their drama on me. I mean, these teachings, because people are always looking out here for help or assistance. But these teachings talk about going inside. Of course, if you're a beginner, I always recommend to start with Voyagers. And then if you resonate with the information, right, of course, you would want to go start looking on YouTube for her advanced workshops. And move on up. I recommend Cathara, and then Sliders, and then move on beyond that. So there's 4 Cathara levels: Cathara 1, Cathara 2, Cathara 3, Cathara 4. Those are all workshops, and they all have their own PDFs. I think 3 and 4, or 2 and 3 are connected together, I think. And then move on to Sliders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's a 12th one, but there's a split in the shield. That's when it happened right there. So we recommend at least going through the Sliders material as well. And so that is yourself and your higher selves bringing in this information. And there's groups, like we have a group. We have a membership group. There's people out there, if you have questions, you can get answers. You can ask in the chat here. And so, but I can't do one-on-one, sorry. I was having way too many people just cling to me and just want to keep on opening dialogue and chats and more, and there's no way I can do that. That is not my mission. I'm not a spiritual advisor. I'm not a counselor of sorts. I'm here to speak the information, and people are learning and studying the material. We are always sharing the material. We give free links. You can also support Ashana by going to her website and paying for the PDF or buying the 3-ring binder books. So, or watch some of her lives. But you can also realize that this is old information from 1998 in the early 2000s. So there is workshops out there for free that are no longer being supported by Ashana. They're not on her website anymore, and so you can go find them somewhere else. And so that's the path that I recommend, and that we're self-teachers. Everything you need is within. As a matter of fact, you can naturally gravitate to the innerchristos concepts and ideas and teachings just by living in love and non-judgment, but of course you want to activate your higher parts, and you do that through techniques, through understanding the higher knowledge. So much respect to you, your spiritual journey, Gina. Yeah, Voyagers, yeah. Hi, it's the Chief again. Are you a Chief, Jerry? Let us know what tribe. Machiwa David, Indigo JV. Yeah, all right. So thank you guys for being here as we talk about angels, which are not all divine. Just because it's an angel, I mean, people generally speaking know this, that there is fallen angels. Okay? So, but it's not the same as we hear about in the Bible, where they were thrown out of heaven. God just threw the morning star, just threw the fallen angels. No, this is nonsense. I mean, it is some people's beliefs, but this is not what we're teaching. Realize that there's a difference between sin, guilt, shame, subservience, and walking the path of order. So we have something that these teachings talk about in the Law of One portion of the teachings. And there's something called the path of chaos and the path of order. Okay? If you want to relate to anything regarding sin or negativity, it's the path of chaos. Any being can become a fallen angel. Any being can distort its consciousness, mutate its DNA, and fall into phantom. Okay? There's something called the phantom matrix, what the religion calls the lake of fire, hell, or Hades. The Guardians call it a black hole subtime space distortion field. And so they call it the phantom matrix. And so fallen consciousness falls into unconscious oblivion, falls into self-destruction, falls into phantom. Okay, that's what a fallen angel is. A being who falls into. It doesn't mean it's automatically a being with wings, and like Lucifer. And we're going to talk about Lucifer tonight. Not all angels have wings. So when you talk about angels, you talk about their body forms and their consciousness and where they're located. Okay, so angels are, you would say, first let's break down the time matrix. Let's show you on the time matrix. Let me open that up in my Photoshop because it's easier to visualize it. And so we can get an idea of what multidimensional angels and archangels are, also called souls and oversouls. Machiwa. So this is the 15-dimensional time matrix. It is God's creation. There's only one God, creator, and God is one spirit, one mind, one love, one self, one heart, one mind. That's the at-one-ment, not atonement, at-one-ment. So the one creator being projected its consciousness, which becomes a downstep, by the way. Once creator projects itself into a specific dimensionalized frequency, that's a downstep of the original. Now it's a distortion. So these are the first distortions of creator. But well, actually it starts right down here, but realize these are eternal collectives of consciousness. They don't die, they don't age, they're eternal beings, and they're living the law of one. And this is why we're calling them guardians. When you hear the word guardian, what's that? It's the non-polarized, non-distorted beings. As soon as you fall down, you're a distortion. Now you're a copy of a copy of a copy, a distortion of a distortion. So notice that the angels and archangels aren't even the highest. They're in the middle. So people think they're the greatest levels, or this is why they look up to them for their spiritual mastery, like Archangel Michael. But this is not the highest level. There's consciousness. And remember, we're talking about body forms too, because we got carbon matter body form, matter, density. We got carbon crystal matter, density, body, consciousness. And these are the archangel levels. By this level, I've heard Ashana say it herself, this is where gender stops. Okay? You don't have genitals. You're not a boy or a girl. And actually, you start to become aware of a collective. You're a collective consciousness, a collective awareness. You're collective here too. You're always a collective, but you start to become more and more aware of it as you go on. You're going to realize more and more of yourselves, which is a minimum of 1,728 selves that you're going to live in all of these dimensions. You're going to live all these selves. And part of Eric's question about the 144, you're going to live 144 times in this level. You're going to live 144 times in this level. Let's go upwards. In the soul level, the angel level, you're going to live 144 times in the oversoul archangel level. So you guys are multidimensional beings. You're simultaneously, because there is a distortion in like Hinduism, Buddhism, talking about past lives, future lives. There's no such thing as space-time. It's an illusion. There is no past or future. There's only simultaneous presence. Are you in mindfulness? Are you in the moment? Everything is happening in the moment. Everything is simultaneously happening. So you exist simultaneously here. You exist simultaneously in the astral. You have 48 incarnations here, 48 incarnations here, and 48 incarnations as an angel, 48 in all these levels, 48 plus 48 plus 48 is 144. You live 144 lives as archangels simultaneously. So right now you are in 144 archangels over souls. Right now you are 144 souls or angels. Just like right now, you're 144 incarnates. That includes human, that includes plants, animals, elementals, that includes this tiny ultra micro subconscious, subatomic, atomic level. So you 48 times here, 48 times here, 48 times. But then you double this. You double all of these lifetimes because of the particle, antiparticle level. Okay? Particade. So this is particum. Okay? Base magnetic mostly, vibration. Base electric mostly, oscillation. And so you have 144 over here. That equals 288. So you actually have 288 angels, 288 archangels simultaneously existing right now as you're a human. 288 humans, animals, plants, and subatomic particles, which is the personal logos. And then you have the superconscious collective logos. So remember, we talked about that concept of collectives. You start becoming aware of not just your personal self, individual self. That's one of the more harder things for earthlings to understand. We're a plural, okay? And we're a plural without gender, okay? You're not going to be becoming a boy and a girl. Eventually, you're an androgynous being, okay? And eventually, and actually, beyond, after the archangel level, you're not going to have arms and legs or anymore. You're going to be a different. You're almost like a you would say a geometry. And actually, the beings in the Ascended Master level are called geomantic entities. Okay? And then you have something higher in the higher Ascended Mastery called the Riche and the Eka. So these are all parts of you. These are all parts of God. In the universal law of one, it's all one. In many different parts, in many different faces of God, and different, you would say God is experiencing itself through us. And so this is just to help you visually see the levels of body matter, density, and consciousness. Also know there's a whole bunch of races, man. There's some that are fallen. Some are still serving law of one. And see the red races? Those are specific races who have fallen, who are no longer serving Creator, who are against the guardians and Creator. They're anti-God, anti-Christos. They're anti-human, anti-earth. They're against all life because they're vampiric. They're phantom beings. Okay, they're phantom beings who are the mutated DNA. They're the fallen angelic ET races with mutated DNA and distorted consciousness. And they are the chaotic life forms that have plagued our time matrix throughout history. That's who these beings are. A lot of you know them as Anunnaki races. There's different Anunnaki races created originally by the Anu Elohim. Notice Elohim is in the Bible as God. And the Hebrews, Jewish people, will claim it's a singular definition. No, honey, it's plural. This is a race of beings who created the Anunnaki. So the Anunnaki aren't the shit. The Anunnaki are low level compared to the higher level beings. And there's something above the Anu Elohim. They're called Metatron. Okay? Also called Giovanni. The Giovanni is where the Metatron beings come out of. And they're higher than the Anu Elohim. But we also know there's fallen races who are reptilian, coming out of the dragon moths. You would say these are dark avatars, dark archangels. Remember, this is the archangel level. Dark archangels, dark angels. There's fallen beings down here too. So this is all part of the spiritual drama that the human race has found itself in. And this is where Lucifer is not coming from planet Earth. The Lucifer concept is, morning star, Lucifer from the Bible. It's actually a collective. What did we talk about earlier? You're no longer individuals, you're collectives. So this idea of Archangel Michael is a collective. Remember, it's in the archangel level. In the archangel level, They're collectives. Archangel Michael is a collective. Archangel Ariel is a collective. Archangel Gabriel, collective. These are collectives. And it's the same thing with these other beings that people worship, called Marduk. Marduk's a collective. It's not a person. It's not a father, a son. Enki's not a father, son, brother. Marduk, Enlil's not a brother, son, father, whatever. These are collectives. Marduk is the name of a collective race. Enki is a collective race. And you could say these are the fallen angels, fallen archangels. And so let me go back. I just wanted to show that. It's always good to get a visual reference of what these beings are. Let me start my incense. I should have already started the incense. Sometimes I just get so excited about starting the show. What's going on, Holy Ones? It's our little charcoal grill. We're going to put some incense on our grill. Machiwa. Here's some frankincense. And you guys, this coming Saturday is the drum circle. The drum circle is the second Saturday of every month. So that's coming up this weekend. That's going to be fun. Can't wait to share it with you guys. Hopefully, no, we're not going to say hopefully. It's not going to get rained out. It will be a beautiful, beautiful weather. No wind, no rain. But that's not how you say manifestations. You got to say the positive aspects, right? Frankincense, cleanse your space. Be mindful of it, of your energies. Sage yourself. Smudge yourself. There we go, Holy Wands. Thank you for being here with us, you guys. So, this whole thing about the... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Why did it do that? Sorry, I'm not trying to do that. Okay. Now, this is a touchy subject for some people because they love the archangels. I mean, let me correct myself. It's not just a couple of angels, you guys. There's not just a couple of angels like you hear a list of angels. Do you think there's only like a couple dozen angels? Okay, so if one planet in one universe has billions like us, one planet, when we talk about the guardian angelic nations, there's something called, I mentioned it earlier, the Interdimensional Association of Free Worlds. According to the Voyagers, okay, it has 25 billion planets who are part of this. Different star leagues. And if 25 billion planets each have billions of beings on it, OMG, how many angels and archangels are there? How many ETs are in creation? It's an unimaginable number. You can imagine it must be an unimaginable number. Now, that's the higher densities. In the lower densities is the Guardian Alliance. Notice I didn't say Galactic Federation. Okay, another thing being loved by people in the New Age and in religion. So, well, not religion, but New Age. Which is, by the way, we showed them a little earlier on the diagram. That's the Anu Elohim creation. The Anunnaki created that one. So there is distortions. And you can say that these fallen angels, once again, according to these teachings, not your brother Anuhazi, and not making this up, this is coming from a huge tome of knowledge. Okay? These are the original fallen angels. Let's get some context here. Our entire 15-dimensional time matrix, which you saw in the diagram, it's 950 billion years old. And we all got along. All these different races originally, even in the Bible, they were once good, right? They were once good and they fell. Well, same thing here. In these teachings, we talk about what happened. There was something called code convolution. DNA, code convolution. That's kind of like incest, or incest is best. It's like inbreeding. Because you know how the elites are trying to keep it only in their bloodline? That's why royalties marry their sisters and stuff. They've been known to do that. They're very racist beings up there, so they think they're superior to you. And so, but that led them to going into DNA code convolution. There's no variance in their DNA, they're going to have some issues, and when the issue happens in their bloodline. So that is what happened 250 billion years ago. So if we were all created and we were all blessed and living in unity and with connection to the Creator, and it started falling in 250, that means we got along for 700 billion years. Okay? But most people say that's not true because the scientists say the whole universe is only 13 billion years old. You guys, Earth scientists are also distorted and don't know everything and don't recognize the soul, right? They don't say the soul exists. And they also say that they're also limited to only one universe. There is this quantum physicist saying there's more than one universe or more than one Earth, but still have a long ways to go. They still haven't found the smallest particle. They think it's the quark or something, but the Guardians say there's something called ultramicroparticles. Our brother or sister mentioned that earlier. It was the particle. It's something called the ultramicroparticle. So the scientists don't know everything. And so, there's an agenda anyways on Earth. So you're going to get distorted science and distorted religions. It's an agenda, an ET thing. So when they say we're only 13 billion, not even close. So even if you can't handle 950 billion year time scale, okay, that's not necessary to understand what we're talking about tonight. But according to these teachings, and we will see it because I'm going to show you the PDF on screen. This is a 950 billion year system. And so this is started falling though 250 billion years. So we got along for 700 billion years, and then it started having this between the main two avatars who fell was the Omicron dragon moth reptilians. They're actually dinoid, insectoid dragon, dragons, but they're reptilian that came out of the reptilians came out of them, who were fighting with the other fallen angelic race called the Anu Elohim, once again mentioned in the Bible. Same with seraphim, but we associate the word seraphim with the fallen angels. We have Elohai, the guardians. Remember, I showed you who the guardians are. The Elohai guardians, the ones who fell, are called Elohim. We have Seraphi guardians, the ones who fell are seraphim. So we have Elohai, Seraphi guardians, and Elohim, seraphim, fallen angels. They used their free will. And they went on a killing spree. They went on a domination spree, conquering planets, enslaving other races, even attacking the Guardians, even blowing up planets. Just like you see in the Star Wars, Darth Vader blew up a planet right in front of the princess. I'm going to destroy your planet right in front of you. Okay? That's the most horrendous thing you can possibly imagine, maybe. I mean, murdering somebody's one thing, right? But killing an entire planet of many different species, insects, animals, humanoids, all dead. Everything is alive. Every single particle is alive. Every single microparticle, ultra microparticle, every single particle is alive. That's something that the quantum physicists are catching on to. They don't see life there, though, but they see... you got different ideas and theories growing. But they have a long way to go. Okay, so the fallen beings started way back then. This isn't all about the fallen beings, but it's important to talk about, hey, not all angels are good, and part of the debunking is some of these angels you think are good. So they started this drama 250 billion years ago. This is way before humans were created. Humans were created 560 million years ago, not even 1 billion, much less 250 billion. These races are super ancient. So let me check in on chat. We have Mario, Robin Kirk, gifts, wisdom, modern philosophy. Azura. Azura is full of information. She obviously studying the information. Yeah, all your guides, those are yourselves. And so a lot of these angels will appear to you as a spirit guide, but just realize your higher selves, because there's more than one. We talk about 1,728 minimum, because indigos would have more than that, because they're doing other incarnations for the work. But they're not trying to scare you. They're not going to show up as an alien looking being, because maybe you're not ready for that. So they will come to you as a guide, as a lovely angel or some animal spirit. And so just realize that's part of your own DNA awakening. How difficult would it be for your angel or archangel self, one of yourselves, to contact you? Okay? So it's not as if they're going to come to you when you're just starting your spiritual journey. They could, but just realize it's usually when you start to activate your DNA. Because most humans, remember, our memory is shut off. Our consciousness is shut off as soon as the soul's essence comes into the body. That's because of distortions in the DNA. So I've heard Ashana say herself that only 10% of you makes it through. 2/3 of Earth's grids are reversed. Kudos, thanks, no thanks to the fallen angels. Okay, they use technology. They don't have a Merkaba vehicle of light because they're in the phantom. They don't have that connection to creation currents like the living universe does. So that's why they take energy, because they're in a finite existence. Okay, they're following inner consciousness, and now they're not connected to Kundalini or whatever, Maharata or whatever. So they must take it from you. They'll feed off of you. Have you ever heard of a succubus? Have you ever seen a succubus? Okay? These beings are dark, man. And so this is a spiritual war. And it's interesting because we're trying to awaken. And so it is within your awakening, you find out there's a spiritual warfare. But we're not the love, light, and clueless. Love and light, yes. Clueless, no. And we talk about these beings not to become a fallen angel, because that's what some people think. Oh, don't think about anything negative. I'm not going to think anything negative. I don't, so they think it's going to attach to them or something. We talk about the fallen angels. We're not clueless. We become aware of them. Just like you teach your child to be safe in the dangers of the world, okay, not to become a being that's dark. You teach your children so they're protected from that and they're knowledgeable. Same thing here. We learn about the Enki Anunnaki, Enlil Anunnaki, Marduk Anunnaki. We learn about the Luciferians, the Satanists of the reptilians, because that's where it comes from. Satan, Lulatan. These are family names. These are ET names. This is where you get Lucifer concept. But it's not a being. It's not the morning star. All these little phantom beings, fallen angel beings, are going to come up with all kinds of occult ideas for you, all kinds of false teachings in the spiritual communities for you. So you're not following your guardian agenda. You're following their agenda now. And that's a trap. And we have to, that's why we're not clueless, because we become aware so we aren't falling into those traps. When you become aware of an illusion, it no longer has an effect on you. This is why we're not clueless. This is why we're learning about the fallen angels like Metatron and Archangel Michael. Let's talk about Archangel Michael. Bless you guys. If this is part of your beliefs, and it's not an attack on you. We simply, what does light do? Light exposes darkness, and we are simply exposing the distortions. And the law of one talks about what is distortion. What is distortion? There is divine right order. It's not an opinion. God is not an opinion, but people made it an opinion. Now there's 4,000 plus opinions, different religions on the earth, but there's only one God. Okay? And so there's divine right order of the original intention of God. As a matter of fact, our 15-dimensional matrix is based on the Emerald Covenant. It's an agreement between all the founder races. They agreed. These fallen angels are going against divine right order. They're going against the guardians. And so this is why there's drama. This is why there's fear and guilt and shame and devaluing of women. This is what has been coming from the Anu Melchizedek. This is taking our sacred beliefs and religions and twisting it. Okay, now you think God's angry. Now you think God is judging you. Now, because in that book, in that distortion, it says fear God. You're right? So no. Okay, here's the frequency. What do you think happens to your frequency if you put yourself in fear? Okay? Here's another thing here. Because we are talking about the angels and the fallen angels. So let me bring that up. It takes a few seconds here. Thank you for your patience. And we do talk about the attitudes of mastery. Okay? And the responsibilities of mastery. But here's a basic idea and concept to when it comes to the fallen angels. Before I start talking about Archangel Michael, we're going to show this. Okay, so this is the creeds, the false creeds of modern day belief systems, including religions, including New Age. And this is what people think God is now because of these distorted teachings, the false creeds. Now you think you need to be, your consciousness and energy is going to be in fear. Your consciousness is going to be in guilt. It's going to be in judgment, elitist, the dark illuminated ones with the guardians called Leviathan. There's all kinds of Illuminati races, not just one. And it didn't start in the 1700s like you see in Wikipedia or the researchers searching that content. They've been coming since Human Seeding 1. That was literally 25 million years ago. They came and destroyed us. They destroyed us in Human Seeding 2 a few million years ago. That was the reptilians then. Anyways, they brought us these creeds. They came in and into the even the Guardian Indigo Children lines. Like the in Atlantis, you'll learn in Voyagers, they talk about where they came in and messed with it. The Templar Solar Initiates. Now it's being led by these creeds. They changed the creeds because they took over the religions. They took over the secret societies or mystery schools. You can call them nowadays. You call them that. They took over the mystery schools, and now they started introducing all of these Father God concepts and sin and guilt and fear. Now this is not your original. This is your original, homies. This is the original coming from the law of one, innerchristos, the sacred spiritual science teachings of the Mahabharata, the inner Christ. But you forgot this. You forgot God is love, joy, grace, gratitude, respect, responsibility. Now you think God is about fear and guilt and judgment. So I just wanted to make that crystal clear. So realize we're in a spiritual war. And according to the Guardians, they took over. See, not only did it destroy human seeding 1, not only did it destroy human seeding 2, they're actively attacking us now in human seeding 3, but they did take over already parallel Earth. They're kicking our asses. Okay? They're winning. So, according to the Guardians, they take over. Earth falls. Earth is called descending Earth. It's no longer an ascension planet, naturally. You have to do advanced scalar mechanics, you would say, biogenesis techniques, in order to get the DNA, reverse the reversal, heal the mutated DNA. That's the only way you can ascend in a descending planet. So we're not as bad off as parallel, but it's falling like parallel did. What happens there usually happens unless something happens in the time vector we're in, but it didn't happen. Okay, so, but it doesn't mean your ascension is over. It just means it's much more difficult, and you have to do everything in one lifetime instead of organically. It's not even organically. We're supposed to be transmuting in one lifetime in one body, but normal ascension is done when, remember, in this density universe, it's done naturally through 144 lives. Your immediate family is 12 lives. That's where the concept of 12 tribes, you have a male, female, soulmate, male, female, soulmate, male, female, twin flame, male, female. See, you live lives as male and female in this universe. Up there, you, after density 3, you're androgynous, but we take turns and you build up, and don't forget about the parallel. It has its male, female incarnations. You have your male, female, soulmate, twin flame incarnations, and they're ascending together. And that's part of your ascension process. But it's been thwarted. Now the DNA is mutated. There's literally blocks in our DNA by these fallen angels, but also by the guardians. Because we made mistakes, we had problems, and by the way, you lived in Atlantis. All of us did. You have a third strand. We all lived in there. So what did the Atlanteans do? They tried to murder the Lemurians. Or no, they did. And so we have karma. We have a race karma. Okay? And so we're not a descending Earth. We're a descending Earth because of our choices that we made with our free will. We invited the vampire in. Remember, the vampire knocks on your door and asks to be invited in. You have to invite it in. These Anunnaki tricked you, and now you invited these fallen angels in. Now they're in power. Now they're principalities on earth ruling us. They're in your governments. They're in your politics. They're in your belief systems, church and state. They're in our new age. They're heavily here. They're attacking us in our air, in our food, in our water, in our precious belief systems. They're attacking us on many fronts. It is an ongoing thing. It's been happening not since yesterday, but since the Atlantean days. Okay? And so this is what we're in the middle of. We're fighting these dark angels and avatars. Fighting as in dealing with them. We're dealing with these beings. We don't call them an enemy. They consider us an enemy. They're the ones attacking. They're the ones twisting and distorting. We want to heal. We want to get along. We would love for them to heal. Please grow up and come back to your family. Machiwa. I just want to say real quick, if you guys like what you're hearing tonight, please consider, I thank you in advance for the small gift of $5, or anyone, whatever you feel called to, you guys. And like Patty or Indigo Wizard supporting this work, it helps me get this message to more people. And quite frankly, in social media, I survive from your guys' assistance and help. So thank you so much for that. Bless you. And you can become a member as well, because we have a membership area. And you can also support this work by going to my Etsy shop below. I sell crystals and my artwork. So bless all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And this is one of those things that a lot of people have something to say about angels, or they have some angels, or Free White Dove. She gave a membership to somebody. To Azura is in the house. Welcome, Frio. There's your sponsor, Holy One. You're awesome. Thank you so much, sister. Much respect. Ivan Rivera. Thank you for that feedback. It's nice to have you guys' positive feedback. Thank you so much. HV in the house. Machiwa, sister. Bless you. Thank you for that exchange of energy. Hugs. Much love. Omni Christos love, baby. What's up? Yeah, Mr. Magnesium. 10,000 years is nothing, right? And don't forget, the higher evolved beings can time travel. It's no problem. Why? How do you think these ETs are getting here? Do you think it's like in Star Trek, where you're just moseying around light speed? No. And don't forget that they're not separate. Nothing's really separate, but there is something called a magnetic repulsion zone. It took me a while to think of that. Between each universe is a magnetic repulsion zone. It's a scientific thing that keeps us separate, not really separate, but you can't travel there. So you can't get here through light speed, homies. It doesn't work like that. Like in Star Wars and notice Star Wars and Star Trek don't have Stargates. Okay? You use Stargates. That's how ETs get here. They're not driving light speed. You can't get nowhere unless... You can only stay in the same galaxy or universe in light speed. To get somewhere else, you need to go through a Stargate. And there's planetary Stargates, there's solar Stargates, sun is a star. And so there's galactic Stargates, there's universal Stargates. And so this is something that all the Guardians know and all the advanced aliens know, good or positive. They're using portals, which are, by the way, there's natural Stargates, portals, but there's also ones that were created. There's a network of them now. And the Secret Space Program talks a lot about that as well. And so that's another reference. When you see someone else talking about the gates and how there's all a network of gates. So this is how these multidimensional beings get here. This is how angels and fallen angels get here. This is how consciousness travels to the astral, to the archetype, to some other universe. Remember, there's also personal Stargates. The Hindus call these chakras. The Guardians call them Templar. And so we have personal Templar, and and that's how you access remember, we're a microcosm of the macrocosm. And so that's why you can take these gates to go through those gates and the other gates and beyond. So, but there is a spiritual war. Some gates are taken over, and that's why the Indigos are coming from SG6. Okay, to go around that. Jesus came through SG6. We all come through that. The Holy Grail line comes through Sirius 6 Stargate. And so, Machiwa, Holy Wands. So let me show you guys from the actual Guardian teachings. I mean, on screen. Just so people realize I'm not making this up. I get accused of that all the time. And so, literally, every time I make a video, someone says I'm making it up, or this is what is this? You know, all this. So let's look at it again. Let me bring up PDF. Voyagers 2, I believe. That's the one I want to look at. But I think Guardian Angelic Nations is mentioned in Voyagers 1 too. 1 as well. So let me open that up. A couple seconds here. All right. So let me show you the screen, you guys, and share this with you. I'm all about transparency. And okay. So this is Voyagers. Now this book is out of print, so it costs hundreds of dollars if you buy the physical book. But if you go to Ashana's website, she sells it as a 3-ring binder for $60. Otherwise, it costs us hundreds of dollars. Now, originally, because I bought 2 of them before in the past, it originally was $26. Why she's now doubled the price, tripled the price, I don't know. But anyways, you can also find these online for free because they're out there. I'm not giving it to you. My moderators aren't giving it to you, but we're showing you where it is online. And so this is a quick search. Just do Guardian. It's not, because it sounds like a new age term, like I made it up. But nope, there's 37 results for Guardian Angelic Nations. Let me zoom in. And let me go down, because sometimes it's not what I'm trying to say. Here we go. And remember, we talked about the IAFW already, and how there's 25 billion star leagues. This is the Guardian Angelic Nations, creating a unified collective. It's a unified collective. That's where unity consciousness and Christ consciousness, we're all coming together in unity. These beings are not following religions in outer space. They're not following religions in the universe. This is, they're following the sacred universal law of one. They're representing the law of one. They're representing all are God, all are equal. Every time you see something opposite of the message, like you see in religions, you know it's not the true original guardians. I see, you thought I was making it up. 25 billion interdimensional guardian angelic nations. Interdimensional, remember this is a 15-dimensional time matrix, and that's where these beings are coming from. Hello, indigos, starseeds, angelic humans. You're part of this. Remember, you're simultaneously existing in all of these locations, and as a 3D person, you're trying to reclaim that. Remember that. Connect to it. And these teachings will teach you how to do that. Machiwa. Guardian angelic nations. Often refer to this, because we're talking about God here. The guardian angelic nations refer to God as the central source of creation. There's that word, source. The source of everything. There's only one source of everything, the central source of everything, and the guardians call it the unicide, not God. That word down here has been twisted so much you don't know what God is anymore. Now you think it's an angry, pissed off war god. No, hello, a Machiwa. So let's look down farther. Due to frequent, and that's what I just said, misrepresentation of words like God, angel, or ascended master, the guardian angelic nations, they talk about the ascended masters being called Giannis. So if you want to know what they call them, they call the ascended masters Giannis, which is an Anuhazi word. We talk about the Anuhazi words as being the original universal language. So if you want to call an ascended master. But if you're having a conversation with someone and you say Giannis and they don't know these teachings, they probably don't know what you're talking about. So, guardian angelic nations, right? Countless. I would say 25 billion planets with billions of people each on each planet is countless. Yes. Countless Emerald Order guardian angelic nations. And remember, this is inside the time matrix. And that's why we're representing on behalf of the Ascended Masters. You just learned that word, Giannis. And the Brennoi Order Christos Founders races. Brennoi is their word for, well, there's no word for it in the New Age, but this is what we call the Universal Trinity. The primary founder races are called Brennoi in Anunnaki language. By the Christos Founders races. Let me keep going. This is a real term, and this is just Voyagers 1. Guardian angelic nations do not usually identify the three ascendant councils. Okay, that's a concept that would take me 10 minutes to explain. But there is the, let me show you on a diagram what the royal houses are. Okay. The royal houses, what that was talking about, the highest level, density 5. The highest level in the time matrix anyway. They have these primary founder races, Elohai, Seraphai, Brahmarama, and there's something called the royal houses. The royal house of the blue flame is the royal house of Armatena. The royal house of Seraphai gold flame races is the royal house of Vega. Because, by the way, these are the planets that started all life. And that was in the Lyra. These are in the Lyra star system. And so all life came out of Lyra. All life started there. That's why the Guardians call it the cradle of Lyra. And the violet flame house is called the royal house of Avion. And so Avion was destroyed by these fallen angelics, and so was Armatena. Vega is still there, but everything still exists in one time vector or another, but that's generally what's happened in the history. So let me go back to the PDF. Okay, so we continue on with guardian angelic nations. Star leagues. You thought I was making up the word star leagues. Nope. Star leagues. Planets who serve Creator, God. Guardian angelic nations serve unity, law of one. Various Emerald Covenant stellar regions. There's some in Arcturus, that's density 3. So, yeah, I just want to give you an idea that it's in here. Let me go look on Voyagers 2 real quick. Just to show you that it's here. Okay. Did I misspell it? Oh, what's up? Did I misspell it? Let me do it exactly. Wow. Okay, so it's not in Voyagers 2, but it's talked about in Voyagers 1. So yeah, I can keep going down, but I don't need to. I just wanted to show you that concept that there is something that you're part of, that we're all part of. Okay? And it's called the Interdimensional Association of Free Worlds, also called the Guardian Angelic Nations. There's billions, countless billions of beings following Creator God's original intention. Yeah, sure, there's legions of fallen angels, of course. But just realize, you still have to realize that there's a polarity trauma all the way up from Dimension 1 to Dimension 11. Okay, there is spiritual war all the way up to the Dark Avatar level. After 11D, that's where the Guardians start. Guardians are non-polarized. They're not serving the self. It's service to others because of unity consciousness. Okay, this is what the Guardian Angelic Nations is. It's a unified guardian force saying, hey, we're representing God's original intention. Your brother, all of you, we strive to represent this unified collective of guardian angelic nations. So you're coming from those higher entities. You have higher identities up there. We all come from the Ascended Master level. All of us are Ascended Masters down here. We just got a bump on our head and don't remember that. But this is Stargate opening cycle, now Stargate closing cycle. That's not done. It's still closing, so there is gate still open. According to this book, to this information, the Stargate 7 closed in 2022 in January. So we still have dimensions 6 on down flowing. This is why there's a spiritual awakening. This is why people are activating and remembering their past lives, future lives, simultaneous lives. This is why, even if you're not on a spiritual journey, you're going to be experiencing some type of changes, whether they're good, positive, or negative. Machiwa. Mirage. Sorry if I don't see your name correctly. Bless you. Mirage Hassani. Thank you so much, Holy One. Thank you for that exchange of energy. CA, isn't that Canada? Bless you, Holy One. Thank you for being here. And we're glad to have you. Peace. Peace and love, vatos. Mr. Mandism. Yeah, they're super intelligent, but not beyond our comprehension. Remember, you can bring in your Christed avatar self here, even if it's just a portion of that, right? So I wouldn't say I agree with that, but because even in my own journey, I've seen levels of myself where they were incomprehensible levels, but I got to experience it. And of course, it's like when you're in a dream and then you come out of the dream, you don't remember it very well. Some people don't remember their dreams at all. So you were once there in the dream, you were once there in the higher frequency. When you come back down to your normal frequency of 3D, then you lose that. Not completely, some of us remember, but I'm saying that's a shift in energy. So there is people with triple digit IQs and quadruple digit IQs, I'm sure, on the planet that you're not aware of. There are beings who can do burn things with fire with their hands. Some people have claimed to witness teleportation. Some beings can do supernatural paranormal things. So maybe the 3D collective in general is not perceiving those higher intelligences, as you say, but I think that's within all of us. It's in your DNA. The scientists call it junk DNA. It's not junk. We activate the junk, and it's no longer junk. We activate and reclaim our higher selves, and you will be a triple digit IQ in like Tesla or whoever, right? Leonardo da Vinci. Yeah, the Draco lines are fallen, Azura says. This is part of the angelic war. Remember, I showed you guys the diagram. The Omicron Dragon Moss, they seeded a lower race called the Dracon. That's where you get the word draconian. And then the Dracons seeded a race on Earth called the Dracos. Now, the Dracos are actually Earthlings. Let me say that again. The Dracos are Earthlings. They were created on Earth. That makes them an Earthling. Of course, the Guardians kicked them off the planet because they're fallen angelic beings who were messing with the Guardian project. But they're still here as a hybrids. There's something called hybrid Anunnaki human, hybrid reptilian human. And we got the Illuminati themselves. They're part human, part something else. That's what the Guardians call Leviathan. And then we got part human indigo children. Okay, so we have humans, but there's not just humans here. And so the Dracos, the Draconians are still making their influence here through this process. And so it's a military strategy. It's not a good thing to have hybrids here. That's not natural. That's not normal. Once upon a time, we had, even back in Atlantis, we had extraterrestrials coming to Earth because we weren't in quarantine like we are now. So we didn't have the frequency fence or some type of things preventing all these races from coming. Some still make it here, by the way. But just realize that the Dracos are, according to the Guardians, according to the Guardian material, the Dracos are the ones who took over with the Zeta Gray aliens as a team. They're called the Dracos Zeta Resistance. It is the Dracos Zeta Resistance, the reptilians, and the insectoids, who took over parallel Earth, and it's the same ones who take over us here, if you stay on this timeline. This is why Earth is falling. This is why their guardians call it descending Earth. It's no longer an ascension planet. You have to use biogenesis. So this is why we teach biogenesis. Okay? And so you also need a working Merkaba field. We talk about the plasma body. You talk about the techniques to fix the problem here, right? Just because if there's some ascension plan B, doesn't mean you stop working on your ascension. Even if there's an evacuation, 200 years or whatever, doesn't mean you stop working on your chakra activation, your Merkaba field. You don't just stop the work. You don't wait for a savior. You don't wait for an evacuation. You're still awakening yourself. You're still activating yourself. There's still things to do. And to me, in my idea, this should be a priority in your life. This should be a big part of your life. If you're just saving it for part-time things on the weekends or like the religious people only on Sundays, it's not cutting it. This is serious, you guys. When you see dark things in the world and then we got a bunch of New Agers thinking everybody's ascending, there's no discernment there. Okay? Think about this, please. When it's based on DNA, the strands of DNA, 3 strands. If you have 3 strands of DNA, it's physically impossible to go to the 4th dimension. So how do you figure billions of 3D 3-stranders are going to go and ascend to 4th dimension or 5D or 6D? It's not possible. You have to still do the work, holy ones. You still need to activate your higher strands. Have discernment. Look in the world. Do you see the planet awakening? No. According to these teachings, according to the numbers of indigos are only around a few million. How many type 1s are there? How many type 2 indigos? How many type 3s? Well, they tell you. They have kids, so the number grows. But they've been coming here since the 1700s. Indigos aren't just from the 90s, okay? They've been coming from the 1700s and on their way up here. Even the fallen angelics started coming in and getting their chosen ones ready since the beginning of the 20th century. So this is part of this whole drama, you guys. We're coming in and trying to awaken and not be affected by this takeover. And so we're just awakening ourselves, and these teachings are, I would say, the most profound teachings that made an impact on my life, that affected and answered all of my questions. And it starts with this. Now, it all started with the Carrie Cassidy interview in 2010. And this is where I found the information. Most of us have, because she was kind of like quiet or private and only doing local stuff. But she went global after the Carrie Cassidy interview. And within months, I was at Ashiana's workshop. It was Sliders 8. It was in Phoenix, Arizona. And so I got to hang out with Ashiana in the biosphere. It was also, that's when she was still married to Michael Dean. And I saw speaker 3. Her name is Marianne. And I also saw Carrie there. I said hello to Carrie. I saw her at the workshop. It was so awesome. There were so many people, because this is after the interview, you guys. There was people standing in the back. They sold out, but they let the people know, hey, if you want to come here, you're going to have to stand up in the back. And people agreed. So this was an awesome time. I was so grateful to be part of that. Let's see this. And also, that's where I became certified to teach a Kathara. At this convention, at this workshop, they were teaching you how to do Kathara, and they were doing ordinations. I was involved in the ordination. I was involved in becoming certified in Kathara, and this is why I'm teaching these teachings. Anybody can teach it. Anybody can learn, and I recommend that. And there is people awakening. There is people teaching. Mr. Mandism, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Lionsgate? You guys, I'm not into the Lionsgate. I'm sorry. And look at the numbers, 8. Can you divide 8 by 3? It makes me scratch my head. I'm like, 8. Lionsgate, 8. What 8? You tell me. I don't know. I think it's nonsense, you guys. Where did you hear about it? Look at the source. Look at the source of where you heard about the Lionsgate. Right? I'm not trying to, well, you're asking me, so I'm just letting you know. Mary Ann workshops? Not that I know of. Same with Michael Dean. I've heard that Michael Dean's passed. I don't know if that's true. I honestly don't know if that's true. I just know he did his little video against Ashiana a few years back, but other people say he's moved on. That's sad. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but I'm not sure, you guys. You have to research, but I think her last name is Calloway, Marianne Calloway or something. It's actually in here. You'd have to just search it. Well, maybe it is. Oh, I don't need to do that, but Thrice born. LJ76. I'm not sure what that is. But remember, we're all a unified field. We're all the unified field of God. So everything is a collective. There is no such thing as individuality. Individuality is a perception. Okay? It comes into the time matrix intentionally to experience perception, to experience physicality, which is not a real thing either. It's just the illusion of physicality. It's like putting on virtual reality goggles and you think you're in a world, some other world that you can walk and interact with. It's all an illusion. Just like this reality is based on a hologram. It's the Guardians call them holographic universes. So nothing is physical, but the thing of it is, it doesn't make it not real. It doesn't make it not important. Because Spirit knew what it's doing when it came here. And it made agreements. Remember, the Emerald Covenant is agreements. And so they came in here to experience the manifestation. That's where the whole world manifestation is. That which is spirit, consciousness, pure consciousness, becomes manifest. So, and people got their logic backwards. Like they come into the hologram, or no, people think that if it's a spirit, it's not that real or not as real as us. It got the opposite, homie. The more physical you are, I'm not going to say the less real you are. I'm saying the least evolved. So the more physical means you're less evolved. So these ghost-like beings, spiritual entities that look like apparitions, or they're just like they're more evolved than you in carbon matter. Okay, I've heard Ashana herself. She describes beings from density 2 and density 3 as ghost-like. That's her terms. You look and appear ghost-like. Okay, and by the time and the more you would say, the lower the density you get, the more detail and the more individualized, the more customized. The higher ones look more alike. They look almost identical. That's not interesting. But that's the mechanics of the time matrix, of manifestation. The higher evolved beings all look the same. The more you come down, the more differences you have. Kind of like when your Uncle Johnny passed away. That would be, you would remember what he looks like, one of your relatives that passed. But if you look at a being from density 3, they all look sort of the same appearance. So this was described as Ashana teaches in Kathara. So thank you guys for being here with me, holding wands. We'll go for like 20 more minutes, okay? So thank you for hanging with me. And wait. No way. Oh, thank goodness. I forgot to take the PDF off. Let me refresh my screen. It's refreshing. Yeah, okay. Cosmic Dan in the house. 111? Am I AI? Are you talking about me, Vato? I'm a human being. Freeway Dove. Zuzi Kingdom getting lit. You guys, I'm not getting lit. I'm saving it for the drum circle. But you're welcome to get lit if you want. Azura. Whoa. No, I've never knew Lisa said something like that. Could you please share with us like a link? Or you can write me, send me an email. It would be wonderful to see that. I mean, that's interesting. Every time I saw Michael, like on one of the workshops, he's not doing anything. He was only like moving the slides, the mylar for the projector for Ashana. Yeah, he talks sometimes, but he wasn't very, I don't know, articulate. He was just reading stuff. He couldn't just go off the fly like Ashana. I'm not trying to put him down. I'm just saying that I was never impressed. I actually, when I was first learning, it used to bother me seeing him here. Like, why is he sitting right there and not doing anything? It used to bother me. And then I met Marianne. I saw her. I've had emails with her. It wasn't very good. And she's this big woman. Okay? But anyways, I'm not trying to criticize that, but it's like most New Agers or whatever are thin because they're on a spiritual diet. And she didn't seem very enlightened to me either. She was doing the same thing. I swear, dude, I'm not making it up. Every time I saw Michael Dean talking or teaching or Mary teach, they were always reading. Why did they have to read? Why couldn't they speak? I'm not reading anything. I'm flowing. Why couldn't they flow? Machiwa. Is the Ark of the Covenant passage within the Universal Stargate System? Well, that is talked about in Voyagers. And let's take a look at it real quick. This is you guys got to realize when all the fallen angels were changing the Bible and all the religions on earth, and you will learn in Voyagers, man, they changed Hinduism, they changed Buddhism, they changed Christianity, they changed New Age. They're the ones who introduced Archangel Michael. They're the ones who introduced Galactic Federation. They brought you Lord Maitreya. They brought you Lord Jesus, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. That you got to be careful. Anyone calling themselves Lord, that's a word to put you into subservience. Yeah, we talk about God. We talk about Jesus here, but just not from the religious point of view. So they use the techniques of pretending to be good guys. They'll take real events, real ideas and concepts like the Ark of the Covenant, and put it in their false creed teachings. And now you got a twisted idea of what the Ark of the Covenant is. And when you start to talk about it from an innerchristos point of view, you're going to get a bunch of religious people attacking you, saying, "I'm making it up." So, but we're all on the same page mostly. If you're attracted to this information, you can have an open mind about the Ark of the Covenant. And this was used in the original plan, the original Guardian plan. That's no longer an option. Okay, it was connecting you to the inner Earth. It was called the Bridge Zone Project. So when you talk about the Ark of the Covenant, it's a passageway, and I've heard Ashana talk about it as also a gold box, because that's where the Galactic Federation comes in. They were trying to take the gold box many times because they had CDD plates in it. Okay, it had things in there like see, this is also what I mean. They take concepts like the rod and staff, but they don't talk about the Ankh. But the rod and staff and the Ankh were once upon a time inside the Ark of the Covenant and being protected by the Guardians, but stolen by the Galactic Federation. Then the Guardians took it back, then they took it back, and then they took it back. It is comical and hysterical and ridiculous. The gold box went back and forth. But the true thing, the Guardians call it the Arch of the Covenant. It got turned into Ark of the Covenant. So Arch of the Covenant is a passage, portal. Okay? And it would take your soul essence after death through the passage portal of the Ark of the Covenant. There's other passage portals, not just the Ark of the Covenant. But this is you're answering your question. You would die, your consciousness would go through the Ark of the Covenant passageway, the earth seeds would go through the portal that would take them into inner earth, or Tara. So it's actually a technological thing. Just like the pyramid was used, the Great Pyramid of Giza, which underneath, by the way, is a Stargate. Hello. There's also a portal underneath the Sphinx. But there's something very valuable. You guys got to realize the Egyptians are one of the family lines. We have root races, right? Like Atlantis. Well, they came out of the root race. So Egyptians are really Atlanteans. They come out of Atlantis. They're the ones who survived Atlantis. Because in Voyagers, they talk about races, sub-races of races, and family lines of sub-races. Egyptians are one of the sub-races of Atlantis, of Atlanteans. They use the passage portalway of the Ark of the Covenant, and so that's just, if you want to learn more, it's in here. There's a whole chapter on the root races and the cloistered races. You can also call them starseed races, and what happened, how it was working with the Lemurians, because they were getting strand 2, and then the Atlanteans are developing strand 3. You have to realize a dimension is 8,000 plus years long, and it's connected to a strand of DNA. It's connected to a race of people. It's connected to many different things. And you have to realize within one strand of DNA, why you have subraces and family lines is because it's made of 12 substrands. One strand is made of 12 substrands. So we have harmonics and subharmonics. What's up? Got it going on. Thank you, Leo Murray. Good to see you, brother. Leo is one of the oldest members here. He was with me since my older channel called Spiritual Magical. Good to see you, brother. Zuzi's getting lit still, right? Danny, I would love to see you speak more about the divine feminine. We've been repressed for so long. Well, yes, I know, but remember, divine feminine is the polarization. Male and females are polarized expressions of a singular being. So, to me, that's more of a New Age concept. We're all divine. Even the fallen angels are divine. Animals and plants are divine. Subatomic particles are divine. So just to call out, divine feminine. And, the answer to a patriarchy is not matriarchy. Okay? You're still polarized. But I understand your question. Bless you, sister. Divine feminine. Yeah. Realize that the fallen angels who distorted our religious teachings, notice how, which is related to the Anu Melchizedeks, who took Jesus' message and twisted it, the Bible message and twisted it, realized they put down women. Religions are, almost all religions on earth, not all of them, almost all of them are patriarchies, men-only clubs, women down here, the women came out of the godly male. BS. Transmute. Okay, so the women and men are go together. That goes right into trans. People want to trans their gender. You're not meant, your soul, your own soul projected itself to be male or female because you're part of a pair. You're part of a soulmate. Ashiana goes into this, you guys. The teachings go into the organic way of ascension. You're meant to be, you ascend with your twin flame and soulmate coming together, your antiparticle and your particle coming together. You're not going to do it with two dudes and two women. Electric, magnetic, whatever you guys, I'm not attacking your personal choices. Bless you for whatever your gender or choice of gender. Okay? Just like we talk about the distortions of religion, we're going to talk about the distortions in New Age. Okay? So we're not against your lifestyle. I'm simply talking about the polarity of it. There's a polarity. Think of it energetically speaking. Energetically speaking, you're a half of a whole. You're half of a twin flame. You're half of a soulmate. Whether you meet them or not, you don't have to meet them. There actually could be in a different time vector than you. Okay? But I know for a fact that one of your twin flames you can meet in the same time vector. Doesn't mean you'll run into them. Maybe you're distorted, or maybe they're distorted, or maybe you're both distorted and both sleeping. You need to both wake up. So, divine feminine, of course, has been repressed. And I talk about all that all the time. I talk about the patriarchal creed. Okay? Puts down women. People think Hinduism is so great. It does the same thing. They may worship goddesses in Hinduism, but they put down females in the RL, real life, the human females. Bunch of chauvinistic pigs, macho, This is the Anunnaki reptilian thing. And if they do it to us, you better believe they do it to their own females. Women are just the same as men. And the answer, like I said earlier, is not to start thinking of matriarchy or feminism or pro-women and not against men. We're not trying to separate. We're trying to come together. This is separation. This is the dark agenda. So that's why I think it's a New Age concept. Yeah. What are you going to do with that? You can go run into the world with divine feminine. Yeah. But the man's divine too. I don't think that's the answer. The answer is to recognize the divinity in both. Recognize that yes, women have been put down, but you are awakening. You don't need to focus so much on the divine feminine. It's mostly about realizing that you're equal, though, knowing that this whole society, all societies, some women can't even show their face. It's throughout the world, man, putting down the women. Okay? So, yeah. Now, this is something I don't agree with Lisa Renee. Lisa Renee is brilliant. I love her. But she even talks about all this male-female stuff in the higher densities when we know, I've heard from Ashana, that gender stops. Physicality stops after around 7D. Think about it. We're no longer individuals, we're collectives. And when I've seen myself up there, I've seen beings who are not just representing one. You perceive them as a history line. You see them as a people, not as a personality. You're a collective. You're not a collective of men and women. You're a collective of androgynous beings. That's the true state of the higher beings. As a matter of fact, you stop having a body around density universe 3, crystal silicate. You don't have a body. You don't have a penis or a vagina. Excuse that. But that's scientific terms we tell our children. You're not swinging. That's why God's not a boy. There's no goddesses, gods, goddesses. There's no gender. There's no pronouns in Creator God. Oh, everything is God, even males and females. But we have to think, and not from the ego. The ego sees 3D life. The ego sees males and females. The higher beings don't see males and females. They don't even see just individuals. I look at that person is a whole history of beings. I see you. Namaste, Holy One. Right? And like Thoth was what? Is a multidimensional being. He was Hermes, he was Thoth, he was Trismegistus. Oh, I already said that. He was Enoch. You know, he just like all of us. We live multidimensional. Sometimes male, sometimes female, and most of the time androgynous. Machiwa. I know that's probably not the answer you were looking for, but when it comes to males and females, that's how I answer it. What's up? Where does the Greek gods come from? The fallen angels. Where does the Egyptian gods come from? Fallen angels. Where does the Viking gods come from? Fallen angels. Anything calling itself a god, fallen angel. What is a god? The creator of everything. How many of those are there? One. So when you got a pantheon, a group of gods, they're fallen angels. Who created the Greek gods? The fallen angels. Hey, here's an idea. Look at the lives of these beings. They're worse than humans. They're murdering, they're kidnapping, they're raping, they're torturing, they're using black magic. Oh, sounds like Yahweh from the Bible. They show you who they are. Okay? And you have Greek gods who were replaced by Roman gods. They were just same beings, just renamed. They notice they have the same qualities. You know, Jupiter or Zeus, which one? They're the same. Just different time periods, they've been renamed, been updated, upgraded. You know, now people are worshiping these beings. And thinking they're, you know, I'm pro. Guys, I was there. A lot of us starseeds, indigos, we didn't have a manual. We do now with the Christos, but I'm saying when I was a young person learning this stuff, I went into the cult. I was following Apollo. I was doing Apollo candle magic spells. I got a little Apollo statue. You see what I'm saying? I didn't know better. People following gods, where have they learned that they're not gods and that they're actually malevolent extraterrestrials, what the Guardians call fallen angels? The Guardians! Call them fallen angels. Okay? It's a fallen angelic war. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about Michael, Ariel. This is interesting. Sorry, what's going on out there? Chikasmasu. So I have so many notes that sometimes I can't find what I'm looking for. Cause here we go. Okay. When I talk about this, you guys will see a pattern. Maybe you never noticed it before. Michael, Ariel, Gabriel, Raphael, Emmanuel L, Sari L, Remy L. And why not Israel? Why not Kal-El, Superman? You know, all the Marvel heroes are gods. Wonder Woman's a goddess. Thor is a god. You're still worshiping gods. Your kids are still worshiping gods. Fallen angels. Subservient to these beings. You get all kinds of science fiction movies, fantasy movies. Look at the gods. They're powerful. They're freaking extraterrestrials from multidimensional realities. Claiming to created you. Isn't the Inky claiming it created you? Now you saying. Now there's people in social media saying, Inky's my God. Inky created the blacks and the Latinos. That's my God. People worshiping gods, following gods, are following fallen angels. You now talk phantom. You now think phantom. Now you're falling into phantom. This is exactly why Guardians call this descending Earth. I'm sorry about that with the F, right? They're just going to park out there and run their car. The L. I've heard Ashana talk about this for an hour. The L, E-L, is Elohim. It's a family, right? Anu Elohim. Family of angels coming from the Anunnaki. That's, remember, Anu Elohim created the Anunnaki races. And so that's who these angels are in the Bible. Remember, the Bible was rewritten from originally Jeshua and Miriam and John the Baptist. When you think it was Matthew, Mark, and John and all these authors, a bunch of authors made the Bible BS. The original Bible, the original Christian Bible, you don't call it Christian, we call it Christos. The original Christos Bible was created by 3 speakers of the Emerald Covenant. The Emerald Covenant wrote the original spiritual teachings. Okay, then it was written later by the fallen angels, Matthew, Mark, and John. Who do you think Abraham is? Who do you think King Solomon is? Illuminati, Nibirian family lines. Not our history, not our people. Okay? So, all this stuff about these false angels in the Bible, that's just another red flag. That's another confirmation. Michael, Ariel is fallen dark avatar beings. But they're so sweet and nice. Did you look at the lives, once again, of these beings, of these gods? They do not act any better than humans. They act worse than humans. And so, what's up? Where's your discernment, holy ones? Some of you are awakening. You understand. You realize. And the biggest one of all is Archangel Michael and Metatron. Archangel Michael is actually coming out of Marduk Anunnaki. No, wait. I made a mistake. It's actually Necromaton Beetle people. It's the Necromaton Nephilim Anunnaki. There's so many Anunnaki. So they're the ones who created the personification of Archangel Michael. Now, I know a lot of people are going to trigger from that because a lot of people love Archangel. I've heard Ashana say it herself. I think it was in the Cathar workshop. It's at the beginning of the Cathar workshop. She had some people joining her workshop, but she started talking about Archangel Michael, and they left the workshop because they were offended about their Archangel Michael being shown in a negative light. Archangel Michael, I just did an interview, and my brother said he was, saw Archangel Michael or called upon Archangel Michael. You guys, it's not what you think. If you call upon Archangel Michael, you're not calling upon Archangel Michael. You're calling upon negative fallen angelic beings. And these beings are working the New Age. They're running it. They create these personifications. They create the Great White Brotherhood. They create Lord Maitreya. They create Galactic Federation. They create all these personalities, and we're Star Brothers. We're the ones who created you. So you need to listen to us because we know better. You see? Now, you guys, this is not dogma. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying or anything Ashana or these Emerald Orders talk about. You don't have to. This is not dogma, so you can. See and check. I recommend that you read Voyagers 1, read Voyagers 2, and check. Check if you resonate with it. Do you feel the same vibration? Because I know I came out of Christianity. I believed in Yahweh. I believed in a sacrificed, mutilated, murdered Jesus. That all changed. Okay? And so you get, you would say, exposed to these teachings, and it may create changes within yourself. Metatron is another big one. Because, listen to this carefully. Most people think, in the New Age anyway, most people think that everything above the fourth dimension, astral, they actually say lower astral. Everything above the lower astral is divine and good and blessed. That goes to we see very clearly where you're at. We see what you're not seeing. So everything has darkness in it within up to 11th dimension. There's distortion all the way up to the 11th dimension. Everything from the 11th dimension down is polarized and distorted. Not the original. The original is your divine blueprint in the 12th dimension. Always will be there, non-polarized and non-distorted. Cannot be distorted. A bug has a divine blueprint. You have a divine blueprint. What we're trying to do is reclaim that in pieces and fragments and put them together. And that's why when you put a puzzle together, you see the picture. You put the DNA, you return your memories. You see those like a movie playing. You see your past lives, your future lives playing out in a movie. So that is incentive. It's incentive to go on a spiritual journey, to, I've seen little kids, man, talk about their past lives. You see interviews of these kids. I saw Carrie Cassidy do one of some little Russian boy, just a little kid, right? Talking about his past lives on Mars. Okay? And so this is what we do in a spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension. And so we're in a war, and you're going to have all kinds of distortions out there. This is why it takes discernment. And I always say, if you want to see if a person out here in the hologram is speaking truth or not, always check for law of one. Check if they're teaching from a space of unity consciousness or Christ consciousness. Is there teachings and concepts based on that? No. Walk away. Go, and I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm saying, hey, sometimes you ask me if this person's good or not. Check yourself. Is it based on law of one? Or are they talking about some angels bringing you your spirituality? We don't need no self-proclaimed Archangel Michael. Hello. The law of one teaches us that all humans are quite capable of going inside and finding their spiritual mastery. You don't want to go out into the external world. Thank you for those hearts, Holy One. You don't want to go out here anywhere. There is nothing out here. This is a hologram projection. Everything's in the inside, but you're trying to find out here. You're trying to seek a God out here, Christ. You're trying to find yourself out here. You ask a tarot reader or a psychic, or you're looking at the stars, alignment of the stars. You're looking at your birth chart. You're looking everywhere, right? Except right here. In these teachings, we talk about going into the inner God spark, the inner Christ. You have everything you need in your dormant DNA. Just activate it. Go on a spiritual journey. Go through Cathara teachings, Slider's teachings, some of the things that our sister said today, Ashara. There's things that you can learn and research. Remember, this isn't just philosophizing, you guys. There's actually work to do. Bless all of you for being here with me tonight. Because remember, you guys are angels and archangels, parts of you. All right, you guys. You said it, Firewater. God does not require a blood sacrifice, because that's exactly what the sacrifice Jesus was. And it's not just about the blood sacrifice. It's also about drinking blood. Symbolically or not, wine, instead of real blood. It doesn't matter. You're drinking the blood of Jesus in communion. That's such a horrible word. Communion. Eating the flesh of Christos. Fallen angels are anti-Christos. They're against everything about the Christos. So they got to do black magic against the Christos. They got to have a crucified Christos, a tortured blood ritual Christos. They got to put down the Christos. Put it down. This is what the fallen angels do. You need to have discernment when they're teaching you to drink blood. That's a big red sign when you have torture and sacrifice. This is something that billions of people follow with their free will. Remember, you have to give your permission. Here's my permission. Now I am like, a devalued female. They took away your divine, like our sister said, divine feminine. Now they took away your ability. They disempowered you. Now if you need to go through them. Now you need to go through a pope. Now you need to go through a messiah. Now you need to go through a bishop or a priest, or now you got to go to a guru. Now you got to get through, this is what we're trained to do. You're brainwashed into it. Now you're doing it. Your God judges in those teachings. Now you're judging. You're judging me. You're judging your brother and sister. You're judging everybody who's not following your dogma. You guys, as starseeds awakening, transmute that. Don't allow that. Put boundaries in your life. We're no longer having those conversations. We're not having those relationships. And sometimes your spiritual awakening means you're going to divorce someone. You're going to break up with someone maybe. You're going to put boundaries. You're going to keep yourself safe, your children safe, and develop yourself and your spiritual awareness. And maybe even try some of these techniques. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. We're going to come to finish this live. I just want to say again, please support this work, you guys. You can do that through a donation here live. It's called a super chat. There's a little $ there. Or you can support this work through the membership area. You get something in return, right? And you also will be part of the community. We have a Discord chat server. You're welcome there. We share links. We have rooms in there. We have all kinds of rooms of different topics and people just talking in general. And so that's another way you can support this work. You could also buy one of my crystals or artworks. Thank you guys so much for those of you who did donate tonight. Bless all of you who are members already. Let me refresh my screen. Thank you for even the new people. You're brave. You're considering this maybe different for you, but you're listening and something brought you here. And think about this. Maybe you don't agree with everything. That's fine. If you're in a church right now, they wouldn't say that. It's a sin against God for them if you go look for some other spiritual knowledge. You guys, it's not a sin against God. You're quite capable of discerning truth and checking for yourself. So bless all of you. Thank you for being with me here tonight. I'm here every Tuesday and Saturday normally. So it's only on Sunday today because I wasn't here yesterday. I normally do it on Saturdays. I will have a drum circle this weekend. I will be filming that live. Last time it was rained on, remember? But there's only 12 of these a year, these big drum circles. So I'm going to be hopefully having that. No problems this Saturday. Celestial became a member. Yes, you did, sister. We see your green star. Thank you so much for supporting this work. I know you're on your own journey of teaching this, right? So much respect to your journey and reaching other people. Yeah, and like Indigo said, thank you for keeping the chat clean and respectful. We only get trolls every once in a while, and that's expected. People will trigger. They don't even think about it. They just, before they speak, they'll just start being rude or disrespectful. Thank you, Gina. We'll look forward to it. Glad you're here today with us. Thank you, Mirage. Hassani. Thank you so much for being here. Jaffa and Renee. Yeah, Jaffa and Renee. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So whatever your time zone is, just calculate it, It's Callan on a new device. Thank you, Holy One. Thank you, Alan Sears. Much respect. Oh, Billy Carson? Yeah. He's brilliant, right? But he's following Thoth. He promotes Thoth, just like Drunvalo Melchizedek, another false priest, false starseed, teaching how Thoth, Thoth's wisdom, and dude, people have no idea how dark this being is. And he's also saying that Billy Carson is also teaching the world. Because he's got 1 million subscribers plus. He's teaching people that the Anunnaki created us. Okay? So maybe he's brilliant. and knows a lot of shit, but he's distorting his whole freaking message by saying that we're created. It is another way of putting down the Christos. All humans are part of the Christos. All humans have a sleeping 12-strand DNA waiting for them. And to say that, oh, some other being from some other planet created us, BS. We talk about it very clearly. The Holy Elohai, Blue Flame, Emerald Order Elohai. You notice we talk about the Emerald Order a lot? The Elohai created the Lyran Anuhazi feline cat people. The Anuhazi created the Lyran Syrian Anuhazi in density 3. The Lyran Syrian Anuhazi created the Oraphim. The Oraphim in density 2 created the angelic human. That is where we came from. No Anunnaki there, but they will claim they created us. Bless all of you guys. Thank you for hanging with us. And we'll see you on Saturday at the Drum Circle. Come on in. And we'll be... please take a look at my videos. I just made one about exposing Thoth. I have one here about Archangel Michael. And I'm going to soon be making one about Metatron. So stay tuned for that. And so thank you guys for being with here. You can check out my website or check out my other videos. I am on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. And so you can send me a message, a direct message either on Facebook or Instagram, or you can send my emails below. So thank you guys for being with us. And I know this may be hard for some of you to agree with, but I always recommend to go into the teachings and check. And there you go. If it's not right for you, then you're not ready for it. And that's perfectly okay. No dogma. Bless all of you. Thank you, Indigo Wizard. And I didn't see Celine, right? But Little Alien was here. Thank you guys for moderating tonight. And let's just say it together. Our affirmations together before we end. Say this with me if you want to. 3 times each. I am Christ Star. I am Christ Star. I am Christ Star. And what is that? That's your 12th dimensional Merkaba, your 12th dimensional Christos, your consciousness from the 12th dimension. That's what Christ Star is. Christos Star, Christ Star. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. Machiwa. Shara ure akumtun. Shara ure akumtan. Shara ure akumtan. Good night, holy ones. Machiwa. Makaya. Bless you.